Welcome to another episode of The Inquisitive Engineer. Today, we're going to look into, does dish soap kill wasps? I stumbled upon this last summer when I had a wasp nest up between one of the support beams on my deck and the concrete block wall of the house, and it was very difficult to get to. And I probably went through 4 or 5 cans of this stuff at about $5 a piece without barely making a dent in the nest. So I was looking for alternatives, and I dug up on the internet that if you mix dish soap with water, it is effective in killing wasps. So I went ahead and gave it a try, and sure enough, it works. So then you may start wondering, well, why does it work? If you read around on the internet, it says that, well, the soap leaves a film over their respiratory holes and they can't breathe. But I'm not sure if that is 100% correct. I have another theory. So first, we need to go ahead and understand just how the respiratory system of wasps and other insects works. Insects do not have lungs and do not breathe through their mouth or nose like humans do. So you may wonder, how do they respire then? If we go ahead and look at this picture here of a wasp, you can see where it's labeled that on the abdomen there are multiple small holes on the outside of the abdomen. These are called the spiracles. The spiracles you can think of as our mouth or nose. It leads to our lungs. Now if we switch to this picture, you can see that the spiracle leads into a trachea, just like humans have their trachea, they get down into their lungs. But then, instead of lungs, the trachea lead into the tracheole, which feed directly into the muscular tissue of the wasp. These holes are extremely, extremely tiny on the outside of a wasp. What I believe is happening is that the soap is breaking down the surface tension of the water droplets and letting the water through the spiracle into the trachea and essentially drowning the wasp instead of creating a film over the spiracle. When I was trying to kill these wasps last year, I followed recipes online that said mix multiple tablespoons with so much water, and it worked. But then I was wondering, well, what if I just put a few drops of soap in with my water? And I found out that it worked equally well. To prove my theory, we're going to do a little experiment that even you can do at your house to show just how effective a little bit of soap is to breaking down the surface tension of water. And once you break down the surface tension of water, it can't form droplets, and it's very easy to get into small openings. So let's take a look. So here I have just a glass bowl filled with ordinary tap water, and to it I'm going to introduce a paper clip very gently, such that it rides on the surface of the water. It rides on the surface of the water because the surface tension of water is quite strong and it supports the paperclip. That surface tension is also the same reason why water forms sizable droplets like rain. Here I have an ordinary sterilized Q-tip, and as you can see, I can play with the water quite aggressively and it will not have the paperclip break through the surface tension of the water. Now we mentioned that soap interferes with the surface tension of water. So here I have a Q-tip with some Dawn dish soap on it. We're going to introduce this carefully, so I try not to disturb the paperclip, and there you can see once just a little bit of that soap got dispersed in the water, the surface tension goes away and the paper clip fell to the bottom. So as you can see, just a little bit of soap is enough to destroy the surface tension in a large amount of water. So if you happen to have a wasp nest around the house that you need to take care of, avoid wasting money on this stuff. A few dollars a can, it's not necessary. You probably have many things around the house that have these squirt bottles, and you can go ahead and save an empty one and get it for free. Fill it up with water, add a few drops, or even add a few tablespoons, it does not matter. It will work to kill the wasps. Now hopefully you can find one of these that has the knob on the end that you can turn that has spray or stream. And so you can use the stream. The spray is not going to shoot far enough. If you don't happen to have one, you can actually modify these a little bit and it'll work pretty good. You can go ahead and take a pair of pliers and bust this rotating cap off the end. And then you get a small drill bit about 1/16 of an inch or so, and you can drill out the small hole and make it bigger. That will allow it to shoot a stream of water or a relatively tight pattern of water over several feet. That way you don't have to be right up on the nest. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yes, you can kill wasps for practically free. As always, stay curious.